Hey everyone, Sari here, and welcome back to another week of late season offense matches. I ended up using Zelgius and Guinivere for all of my matches this week. They make an extremely powerful duo. Guinivere can handle almost any ranged opponent, while Zelgius protects her from any melee attackers thanks to his safe skill. The unities also work really nicely with their positioning preferences, giving their most important stats a nice boost, and also keeping the stats safe from debuffs. They'll follow up and pulse smoke let Guinivere defuse a lot of matches that might normally threaten her, like bolt fighters and infantry pulse teams, while her weapon's post-combat heal lets her keep both herself and Zelgius healthy. Zelgius's special fighter and slaying edge let him reply to most attackers with an immediate Black Luna, while quick riposte lets him break through impact effects, and also secure doubles against any really speedy opponents. I also adjusted the support squad this week. I was lucky enough to find a Dagr, and immediately replaced almost her entire kit. This skill set turns her into a Spectrum buffer and Smite bot, making her an excellent solution to my previous problems with including a full set of +6 buffs on the team. Her weapon's Pathfinder effect is really useful too, though I think I'm still getting used to using it. One of the best parts about her, though, is just the extra health and res that she gives to Guinivere and Zelgius. The extra bulk is fantastic, making them extremely difficult to take out. Consolidating all of my visible buffs into Dagr also frees up some skill slots for Mila and Peony. I decided to give Mila Sabotage res from one of the solos we got recently, which makes it even easier for Guinivere to secure knockouts. The Fortress Def Res Seal guarantees that she'll soak Dark Shrines, and also helps her continue to be able to isolate and sabotage the enemy team, even when she has to work through them. Peony, meanwhile, is using double distant card skills, which can really help Guinivere survive some particularly annoying opponents, like Brave Bows, for example. So, now that we've gone over the builds, let's get to the first match. So this one is going to be a bit of a light start to the week. This is mostly a budget defense team, but it does have some really neat ideas involved. Leanne and Tyburn on this side help it have two avenues of attack, and Tyburn usually gets launched straight into the back line if you try to tank the other side first, which is a good way to try and snipe a kill. Lynn is, well, she's solid enough. The seal would definitely help her out, and this Triangle Adept doesn't actually do anything for Azura because it doesn't stack with the Sapphire Lens. Sothis in her bonus week. Double solos give her a lot of extra punch. And a Yune. This is, I'm glad that they're already locked out for the day, because this is going to be a bit of a painful replay for them, I think. Oh wait, hold on. There we go. So I'm going to start just by opening up these structures, and then waiting until the second turn, so that we can get these wave skills of Daggers activated. Then we just smite Guinivere over. Yes. We'll move here into the back. And swap.
Good morning.
And swap again. Sadly, I'm not going to get Peony's buffs for them, but we shouldn't need it. Oh, Tyburn.
Let's see how you handle this.
Not the fight you wanted to pick. Sothis doesn't actually get her solos active.
No draw, no escape.
And things are pretty straightforward from here.
We must end this. Like this.
Death's caress.
Ready!
What's your plan?
If you say so.
Your orders.
Maybe this way.
We'll just plant feet. The second pot in the top right is going to be a little annoying to get to. But it's just a Zero. It shouldn't be too bad.
Yes.
Good morning. I bestow my blessing.
The glimmer of life.
Are you certain? Right, boss?
I'll keep you alive.
Alright. And now that she went the wrong way,
If you say so.
we'll be able to get here pretty quickly.
What's your plan?
Like this.
Death's caress.
Ready! It will be done.
I do kind of want to have Zelgius tank her,
Got 'em.
just to see if he can
I'll keep you
manage it.
alive.
I bestow my blessing.
Maybe this way.
Your orders.
Yes.
I think he'll be okay.
One will live, one will die.
Alright. That was a pretty slow start to the week. Let's see what we get next time. This is going to be a little interesting. I don't think it's going to be too hard. It's mostly an armor ball, I think. We've got Felix. I haven't seen a whole lot of him on defense teams yet, which is interesting. I do think he's really strong. Got this Kanigas, a Robin, and a bonus week to do. These two hells are making him extremely bulky, physically at least. So, it's interesting. They don't really have too good of an answer to mages, outside of, well, hoping that they can enemy phase them with Felix and Kanigas, or that Felix can pick them off. It's interesting. I don't really think we're going to have any problems with it, though.
Good morning. Got him.
I'm just going to test this trap before we get started. And that
Very
way,
well.
The
we have some
glimmer of
space to
life.
work with.
Like this.
What's your plan?
Right, boss?
Yep. I'm not going to worry about giving Guinevere the
That's
buffs
correct.
because Felix has got a dull ranged, so
We
it's not
must
like
end this.
she'd actually get to use them here anyway.
This way.
If you say so. I bestow my blessing.
Felix can get a chunk done, but Guinevere at this point is bulky enough to take a hit from more than one physical unit at a time. And, well...
No draw, no escape.
She doesn't have to worry about melee with Zelgius on the field.
Yes.
It will be done.
Are you certain?
I'll keep you alive.
Ready.
Got him.
We aren't going to get a full set of buffs for Zelgius this turn, but it shouldn't matter.
Death.
Say your prayers.
I will say that I wasn't expecting Dagr to
One will live, one will die.
be a plus res mythic. I thought she was plus defense, but that extra res does a lot for Zelgius.
Say your prayers. Let's see how you handle this.
And down they go. That wasn't bad. On to the next one. So I guess after last match was so melee heavy,
I'll keep you alive.
it's only fair that this one is pure ranged. It's an interesting setup. They do a pretty good job, I think, of controlling the area that the opponent can actually set up in with this Veronica. And they're backing her up with 2 different Claudes. I'm not sure there are quite enough debuffs on this team to really enable this bow consistently, but I guess as long as Veronica attacks, it works. We've got a Bramamond with a Rally, and Triandra. And Julia. Julia's very strong, but I feel like these solo conditions are a little too hard to count on a defense team. So I'm gonna start this just by testing these 2 traps,
If you say so.
which is gonna make my life a little bit easier for the next turn.
Yes.
Oh, and they're both
Maybe
fake.
This way. Are you certain? Death's caress.
I'll keep you alive.
Oh, oops. Well, she shouldn't need the extra attack.
Like this.
We'll be okay. It's really missing 3 attack and res. I meant to swap Zelgius with Dagr. But that's okay.
Very well. Ready.
Got him.
We must end this. The glimmer of life.
I bestow my blessing.
Yes.
Your orders.
And even with a lull, Clot just can't quite manage it. And, well, Yeah. Guinevere isn't very worried about Brown. Okay, I had to take a little bit just to think about how to make sure we reach this pot before everything gets knocked out, and I think I've got a
I
good way to
bestow my
manage it.
blessing. If you say so.
I'll keep you alive.
Maybe this way.
Are you certain?
At least if I remember that the gravity trap will actually affect Peony. That's okay.
Yes. Good morning.
Like this.
Triandra's going to attack Zelgius here, but I'm really not worried about that.
We must end this. The glimmer of life.
It will be done. Got him.
Now we can just finish picking up the pots and finish the match.
Very well.
Your orders. Let's see how you handle this.
That wasn't so bad. Next. This one's going to be interesting. I don't think it'll be too hard, but interesting. It's always fun to see another Ashnard. Even if they did cheap out and like give him card 2. He is +8, so he's pretty solid. And he's on a full flyer ball team. And guarded by this Flayn and a whole bunch of drive effects. And rains. Then they've also got this Windsweep Byleth to try and help break through any tanks, and a Claude, who can potentially break through any damage reduction effects, as long as he can outspeed his targets. Fireballs have gotten pretty rare, and I'm not sure they're going to get very popular in the near future, unless we get something really, really wild. There we go. I'm gonna start this by taking a turn just to break the structures on this side,
Very well.
which lets me get these waves active for the next turn.
Your orders.
Like this.
The glimmer of life.
Isolating this lane too with Hell and Ashnard helps me to force them over to the left side of the map on this turn.
Got him.
Good morning. We must end this.
I'll keep you alive.
Death's caress.
It will be done.
And Guinevere shouldn't have any problems with this. And after Claude, she just gets to heal back to full health. From here, I'm going to let Flayn sort of stay alive and just bait her into attacking Guinevere. and Zelgius can handle Ashnard and Hell.
Are you certain?
What's your plan?
Right, boss.
Maybe this way.
If you say so.
Your orders.
Yes.
I bestow my blessing.
And while Zelgius won't be able to get an immediate Black Luna, thanks to guard,
No draw, no escape.
Special Fighter means that he's still going to get it.
One will live, one will die.
That 30% damage reduction did a lot for Ashnard, but it can only do so much, really.
It will be done.
Very well. Death's caress.
I'll keep you alive.
Ready.
Your orders.
And down he goes.
Let's see how you handle this.
Alright. This one should be fun to see.
Good morning.
I actually really like this just because of getting to see some of these units at some really impressive investment levels. This Miranda especially, it's just... she's really, really good, honestly. I don't know too much about the speed res gap, but the rest of her kit is just really, really cool. She might be able to use Roar Fox better, but other than that, yeah. This setup is also really neat to see. She is actually taking the speed res gap from Miranda, so he ends up really, really fast. And bulky. You've also got this Kalak, who, again, is really impressively invested. This is a neat kit. I don't know how reliable it is on a defense team, but it does give him up to +8 to every stat. We've got their bonus week Sothis, a Yune. The double fortress skills do a lot to help enable her sabotages. And an Eldigan. They've also got 2 level 7 shrines, which is fun. This in particular is what is going to enable some nonsense, I hope.
The glimmer of life.
I'm going to take this first run to set up. It
If you
gives,
say
gives me
so.
a moment to get these wave skills online, and also lets me get these
Are you
traps out of the
certain?
way.
Right, boss.
Your orders.
Okay. I'm not going to bother trying to
I
isolate
bestow my
Eldigan. We
blessing.
could, but just in case I did my math wrong, I'd actually rather make sure he dances Setheth. Okay,
Got him.
this is my Gwyn forward,
Maybe this way.
dance
I'll
Dagr,
keep you alive.
Zelgius go here, smite him up,
Like this.
test that.
glimmer
Okay, so
of
the other
light.
one is real.
Very well.
And we could start this off by knocking someone out, but where's the fun in that?
No draw, no escape. Let's see how you handle this.
Ooh. Yep. And poor Yune. And Zelgius just ends up back at full health. These two just work so well together. It's really fun to see.
Say your prayers.
Alright, I needed to take just a minute to think about how to move into position to take these pots without knocking Eldigan out first. And I'm reasonably sure he can tank one hit from Zelgius, just because of the squirrely candle. So, we're going to operate under that assumption.
Right, boss.
Very well.
So from here, Zelgius actually intercepts for everybody
Good
nearby.
morning.
Yep.
Like this.
Death's caress.
Yeah, Eldigan should survive this.
Let's see how you handle this.
Pretty well, actually. At least this time.
Are you certain? Yes.
What's your plan?
Maybe this way.
I'll keep you alive.
But it's not this one.
One will live, one will die. No draw, no escape.
Alright. Another one done. On to the next one. So, this one is a rematch.
Say your prayers.
And while the fix for how they cleared my defense wasn't really anything outrageous or hard to do, it's going to be satisfying anyway. They've got a +10 Gunther on their team, and I haven't seen a whole lot of her, but I do think that she's, even now, still one of the better Green Mage cavalries that we have available in the game. They also have a +10 Priscilla, and a Wrath, along with an Erica, Bramamond for the support. They're using Wings of Mercy on him to help him catch up to the front line and try and snowball some extra knockouts. And the same idea here with Sothis and her bonus week. This is an interesting one. I don't see too many cav lines these days, and this one's kind of intimidating. On the other hand, I don't think it's going to be that hard. Guinevere is just kind of exceptionally good at dealing with mages. And even though they do have an infantry school with -6s, and Gunther is going to be getting some 25 extra attack from that alone, and triangle advantage, Guinevere should actually be able to handle it.
Death's caress.
Got him. I bestow my blessing.
We must end this. Good morning.
Right, boss? If you say so.
I'm also having Zelgius bait Wrath forward,
Your orders.
and he'll be able to knock Wrath out next turn. Yep. serves you right for being a Linja user. Oh good, it all worked out. So, as is kind of usual with cav lines, the second turn is almost as important as the first one. And this one
Yes.
has a couple of quirks to it, since Priscilla is actually pretty speedy thanks to that ARD skill. So, what I'm going to do is make sure that Peony gets in range to boost
Very
Guinevere,
well.
which will let her deal with Priscilla very easily. And, thanks to aerobatics, Peony can still get up here and dance her,
We must end
which
this.
lets her deal with Brownwood. And then all we have to do is move Mila up one space,
I'll keep you alive.
which gets Zelgius's Unity active and lets him one-shot Wrath.
Say your prayers.
And from here it's very easy to deal with. Sothis can never actually do anything to Guinevere, so all we have to do is pick the pots up.
The glimmer of life.
Good morning.
Like this. Yes.
Your orders.
I guess I should have done that first.
Boss.
It's okay.
Very well.
I bestow my blessing. It will be done.
I'll keep you alive.
Are you certain?
Yep, as I thought.
Maybe this way.
Very well.
And goodbye, Sothis. That wasn't so bad. It took a little bit of thinking just to set it up and get past that second turn, but yeah, went well. So this one's going to be an interesting way to
May the land be bountiful.
go into the end of the week. This is a boxed-in setup, but that's kind of offset by having two save skills, including this plus 10 Alphonse. I think Alphonse is actually a really great save skill user, who's somewhat more reasonably available than most. He's really bulky, but I do think that he's a lot better off with far save instead of close save, which is what he's using here. Their far save unit is Edelgard, who is pretty solid with it honestly, but a lot like Alphonse, I think she's better off with the close save version. They've also got a plus 6 Brown, a Corrin who's in season this week, their bonus week Sothis, and a Triandra. Triple Mythic is fun. It helps boost everyone's stats to make them as bulky as possible and make the setup like this at least a little more functional. I'm not expecting to have problems with this though.
Maybe this way.
Very well.
Your orders.
I bestow my blessing. Yes.
The isolation target isn't really important here. It's mostly just to make sure that there aren't going to be any rally shenanigans happening at all. Not that there really is any space for them to happen in the first place, so
If you say so.
this might win up.
Ready.
It's a real trap, okay. Oh, I guess I only have the real traps here, huh? I didn't actually notice that.
Right, boss?
Let's see.
Like this. If you say so.
I'll keep you alive.
I'm actually going to swap. Yeah, no, we'll be fine. She doesn't need the extra 8 res.
Glimmer of life.
Are you certain?
Yeah, Alphonse doesn't get anything done. I think Bremerman should be the only one who does any damage to her, and it shouldn't be anything really threatening. This also has the fun upside of defusing Corin, which means that if she gets a chance to attack this turn, Zelgius just knocks her out without any problems. What I'm kind of hoping will happen is that Edelgard will be the one who jumps forward to break the wall, which lets Zelgius deal with both dragons in one turn. Oh well.
No draw, no escape.
Alright, that should be very simple from here. We just need to make sure we pick these pots up before we finish the match.
Death's caress.
I don't think there's a way we can pick this one up immediately, so I'm not going to worry about it too
It will be
much.
done.
We must end this.
What's your plan? Your orders.
Good morning.
Got him.
This.
No draw, no escape.
I really think she would have been better off as an offense mythic. Even if she's a combat unit, I don't know. I think it would have given her
Yes.
a better niche than what she has now.
I'll keep you alive.
Maybe this way.
And just let Edelgard attack in.
Say your prayers.
Alright, that was pretty clean. On to, hopefully, the last match. So this is going to be a very fun way to finish the week. It's another rematch, and I've kind of had my eye on this one since earlier, thanks to this very interestingly strong, honestly, plus 10 in-season Leif. They also have a plus 10 Reinhardt. And the rest of their team isn't merged, but they're still very solid. Azura's in season, which means she's a very useful dancer. Eldigan is hard to isolate, although, well, this one's probably easier to do it to than most, just because he's not merged. Sothis, your bonus week, and a Bramamond. So, the reason I said this is interesting is because we're actually going to have Guinevere tank this Leif. And that probably sounds a little bit of a bad idea, but she can handle it. Another fun part is I'm actually going to get to use Pathfinder in this match.
Like this.
I'm just going to spend the first turn setting
Very
up.
well. Ready. We must end this.
Right, boss?
I'll keep you alive.
And that way we can get our wave skills online. And then we're going to have a little bit of Peony nonsense here.
Got him.
What's your plan?
Good morning. It will be done. Are you certain?
Your orders.
And Air just gets to sort of sit in the back. Watch the show. He didn't even drop her below half health. Ah, Gwyn is really, really solid. Yep, and Bram jumps forward. And all he really does is heal her. Yep, and then we just start going down the health chain. Oof, so this...
One will live, one will die.
And down goes Reinhardt. And she's almost back up to full health again.
Very well.
If you say so.
I'll keep you alive.
Maybe this way. Right, boss?
I bestow my blessing.
Zelgius isn't going to knock Eldigan out yet, but it's not like Eldigan has any way to actually win this fight.
Let's see how you handle this.
We must end this.
What's your plan?
One last Black Luna to close the week out.
One will live, one will die.
It went really well. Honestly, this was a very entertaining week. A little on the degenerate side, I think. It's a very strong team overall. I'm glad to see it too. I really like using Zelgius again, and Guinivere's great. She's a really great complement to him. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to use this team over the next several weeks, just because, well, if I want to actually get my highest lift gains, I won't be able to use Dagr as a bonus unit, or Freyja, and those two should be bonus units for at least the next 3 weeks, if not 4, of light weeks, so I'll probably keep the team in reserve, and I might just bring them out again if I take lift loss and can't hit rank 1 anyway. But we'll see. It should be fun. I'm really glad with how this team's turned out. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Good luck with your own matches, and I'll see you next time.